All right, we're back here with Captain Marty. You're going to hear another one of his great stories. And we got Thanksgiving on the horizon. And Captain, I was wondering, how is it that you prepare your Thanksgiving turkey? Do you deep fry it? Do you put it in the oven like traditionally with the herbs and spices and the stuffing and whatnot? Do you put it on the smoker? Do you do it Cajun style? Like, talk to me about how you prepare your turkey, Cap.
Well, I'll tell you real quick. My favorite way is in my smoker, and it comes out look like Pepperidge Farms did it. Really good. But there's a lot of ways that you can prepare and do a turkey. And but my career in the turkey business was very short lived. I'll tell you more about that when I come back.
Boasting phenomenal seafood dishes, a great menu, and waterfront views with deck seating, Striper's Bar and Grill at the Shallowbag Bay Marina in Manio serves a casual, fun-filled dining experience with an Outer Banks flair. With 3 floors to choose from, you're bound to find the perfect seat for you and yours while enjoying great food and fantastic drinks. To see our menu and to catch a glimpse of the beautiful views, go online to stripersbarandgrill.com. Striper's Bar and Grill at the Shallowbag Bay Marina in Manio, where everyone's a VIP.
Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on Wikitune Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious, 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. To book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits. And by the way, when you say turkey Thanksgiving is on the horizon, we used to laugh so hard. Benji York, Captain Benji York, he never could say horizon. He said horizon.
Horizon.
And there was a company that made VHF radios, Horizon VHF radios.
Okay.
And he had a really strong radio. And somebody one day said, Benji, what kind of radio? What brand is that radio? It sure does sound good. Let me see here. He's like, it's a horizon.
Horizon.
And ever since that's stuck, so now the fleet still uses them and they still call them horizon radios.
That's funny.
But back when I was a young married man, and, I think, I had bought 5 acres of land as a junior in high school off headboat money I made in Florida, and bought some rural land out along I-95 west of Daytona Beach. And I had chickens and pigs and all kinds of stuff, always been that way. And then, now I have 9 acres over in Hyde County, and I only have chickens right now, but I've had goats, I've had pigs, I've had them all. But back when I lived behind what you would know as the Hatchell's gas station
right
on Roanoke Island, the next street back was where I lived, in a little house, and I had a Labrador Retriever, and I built a nice kennel for that dog, but then the dog died, so I just still had the kennel. I wanted to put something in there, and somebody over on Etheridge Road had some turkeys that they were tired of and wanted to get rid of them.
Okay.
So they had 5, and they were, I call them brown turkeys. They weren't the white ones.
Okay.
Right. They were brown, but they said, "Do you want them?" I'm like, "Well, I got that kennel out there. It had 6-foot tall fence all around it and no top." And I said, "I'll take them." And I should have known they were more trouble than they were worth. They're messy. I mean, really messy. So, but I bought them and I fattened them up. And I thought, man, I'd like to butcher a couple of these, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And Thanksgiving was coming. So I thought, call my mother. In Florida. My mother was raised around outside of Cumberland, Maryland, in the mountains. Her family were subsistence farmers.
Okay.
They grew what they needed to eat and sold what was left, And,
wow.
They had no electricity, outdoor toilets. I mean, it was
rural
Appalachia. And she had butchered many a chicken and many a turkey, so I knew that. And I called her and I said, "Mom, I don't know. Do you think I could butcher one of these turkeys?" She said, "Sure you can. When you get ready, let me know." So the week ahead of Thanksgiving, I went out one night to feed them. It was right at dark. And they had roosted up on the top railing of that 6-foot high fence around that old dog kennel. And I went in there and I was bent over dumping out some corn into their bowl, and one of them decided to relieve itself on my shoulder.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So that no pun intended, was the kiss of death
Okay.
for him and his buddy. So I said, all
Bet
right,
it was.
that's going to push me over the edge. So I made my mind up that the next morning I was going to, butcher them. So I called my mom, and she told me, get a pot of water, a big pot of water, boil it on the stove. So you got to use an axe and take their head off, and then you dip them in that bucket of water, and it'll scald them a little bit, and the feathers will come right off of them, supposedly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's a word for that, and I forgot what that's called. But anyway, you're not parboiling them. You're just doing enough to make the feathers kind of fall off.
Okay.
But before I could get to that, I had to get the axe. I laid a piece of salt-treated 4x4 on the ground, and I got turkey number 1 out of there. And I got my axe, and I was like, this is not going to be easy. But I made up my mind after what happened the night before. It wasn't as bad. But the turkey saw the axe, and he started bobbing his head around where I couldn't hit it. He was like really good, really moving fast. I thought, this ain't working. So then all by myself, I went inside. I had his legs tied together. I went inside, him and 2 of them. I went inside and got some black socks.
Now, why in the world did the captain need black socks? We're going to find out when we come back. When it comes to finding phenomenal seafood, you gotta go insane. That's right, stop in to the Insane Seafood Market right there on Highway 64 in Columbia. Luke Midget and his crew work hard out on the water to make sure you have the freshest selection of seafood around. They provide a wide selection of fish, crabs, shrimp, oysters, and clams, just to name a few. Insane Seafood has a hot bar to satisfy that seafood craving right on the spot. Visit them online at insaneseafood.com and like them on social media. Go insane at Insane Seafood Market, Highway 64 in Columbia.
Then I had some regular old foot socks, and I slid it down over the head of both of them, where they could. It's like going to the guillotine. You know,
Yeah. I'm
oh boy, they lay perfectly
this.
still then, and so I did. I chopped their head off, and of course, if you've never done that, they flop all over the place. And anyway, I'm like, I don't think I want to go into the turkey business, but once that part was done, then it's all right. And now let's get about getting a couple turkeys here for Thanksgiving put up. So I went in there. I got the water boiling. I don't know if I boiled it too much. I can't remember. I think I forgot to gut the turkey as well.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, I dipped it in there, and I kind of parboiled it a little bit. But when I did that, look, this was a long time ago, but you know when I took him out of the water, rigor mortis had set in, and you know how you buy a Butterball at the store? It's all tucked up real pretty, and his drumsticks are tucked in kind of nice. It's like a round, literally a butter ball.
Yes, beautiful.
Well, these things died in the stretched out position, completely stretched out with the neck on one end and the feet the other. And it was, they didn't look anything like, I couldn't even bend them. They didn't look anything like a Butterball turkey. So I called my mom and said, what have I done? And she goes, well, you're supposed to tuck them up, before you dip them in the water. And I did all that completely wrong. So anyway, I had 2 turkeys. Then somewhere along the way, I removed the entrails. So I guess they don't look very appetizing. They were long and skinny, but I wrapped them in tinfoil. Now, Justin, you're too young to know about this, but a lot of my friends will know. When I wrap those turkeys in tinfoil, they look like a 3-foot-long marijuana joint. That's what they look like.
Oh, my goodness.
They look like not that I would know, but I saw Cheech and Chong one.
Okay.
So that's how I know what one of those looks like.
Okay.
But it was wrapped up like that. I put them in the freezer, and come Thanksgiving, I thawed that thing out and tried to cook it, but it wouldn't fit in the oven because it was stretched out too long.
Oh, goodness.
And so finally, I fed them to the cat, and that was that. And I went down and bought a Butterball turkey at Food Line. And that's why I'm no longer in the turkey business. And people that do it, more power to them.